Today I present to you the novel Come Back to Me, Ava. Laughter is a universal language that is spoken and understood by everyone. At just 5 years old, I had mastered this beautiful language. I learned to speak it confidently despite the daily troubles that surrounded me. Well, I didn't know any better. I was just 5. So, with arms stretched wide and a heart filled with glee, I sat confidently in a grocery cart, awaiting my sister's guiding push. This was a fun and common game among children in the neighborhood. Tia, you're going too fast. I could feel my heart pounding with excitement as I rolled down the sloppy path that stretched towards the nearby street from our 4-story apartment. Tia had learned to ignore my playful pleas. The wide grin on my face and my occasional chuckles gave me away. I was enjoying the ride. The days were still young, wild, and free, void of the endless worries of the future. These were one of the days when Mom allowed us to play outside, and I will never forget how those mornings felt. Calm whispers of the gentle morning breeze bearing tales from distant places. The proud rays from the sun at dawn casting an ethereal glow upon everything around us amidst the indistinct chatter from children playing across the street, just like ourselves. The year was 1979, and it was indeed a busy time in our lives. A lot of things were about to change, and my sister and I could feel it. Tia, Ava, that was Mom's voice. Our fun was about to be cut short. I'm going to the department store. Come get changed. Tia was my older sister. She was about 3 years older than me. I could notice a tiny frown on her face at the sound of Mom's voice. She didn't want to stop playing, but we both knew that we had no choice. We had to go in. The short walk to the department store was filled with very little activity. People strolled about the scanty street, stealing occasional glances at us. Everyone seemed to be in some sort of hurry. I always wondered where they were all headed. The highlight of our short trek was when we neared the final bend to the store. The alluring smell of fried chicken seeped into my lungs, beckoning to my entire being for a taste. I stole a glance at Mom. She didn't look willing to bend to my desires, so I swallowed my longing and kept mute. At the department store, my thoughts wandered off quickly, leaving me to stand alone in a secluded corner of the store. Mom and Tia didn't notice that I had stopped. They were busy shopping for household items. I was hungry, tired, and bored. I didn't want to be there one bit. The scent of a mix of diverse cosmetics and fragrances waved through the air, giving me a nauseating feeling. I shifted my gaze towards the towering glass window beside me and I could see the world beyond the store. The road outside the store wasn't too busy. Soon, my adventurous mind took hold of me, and I was now strolling towards the exit door of the department store. The air outside the store was welcoming and refreshing, and the atmosphere was exciting. I immediately noticed a beautiful lady smiling down at me. Her eyes were joyful tales. Her eyes bore joyful tales, and her smile was warming. I loved her raven black hair, which was secured with beautiful hairpins. Her hair seemed to simmer under the morning sun. She stood with a certain composure and patience, awaiting an opportune moment to cross the road. I was too young at that time to decipher, but I would later discover that she was of Asian descent. "Do you want to cross the road too?" She motioned towards me with a wide grin, and I nodded in acceptance, oblivious to whatever dangers I could be putting myself into. She took my hand, and when the moment came, we crossed the road together. "Where are your parents?" the lady asked calmly. "I'm going home." That wasn't the appropriate reply to her question, but she figured out that I was trying to say what I was trying to say and waved me goodbye. The only danger that existed never happened. Our apartment wasn't too far away from the department store, and I could easily find my way back home. I had, however, not thought about something before taking the bold walk home. No one was home. Luckily, my neighbors were indoors and they let me in. Several hours had passed, and I was oblivious to the happenings beyond the door of my neighbor's house until a loud knock resounded on the front door, followed by my mother's desperate voice. "They're back," I thought. "I wonder why they took so long." The door soon flew open, and I locked gazes with Mom and Tia, but their faces told a concerning tale. 2 police officers accompanied them. "Where have you been?" Mom cried out. Her face was drowned with emotions, a mix of anxiety and relief. "We have been searching everywhere for you." I did a double take at Tia, hoping for an explanation of whatever was going on, but my neighbor came to the rescue. "She has been with us since morning," my neighbor explained. Mom heaved a heavy sigh. "We thought you were missing. How did you get home?" I suddenly realized what I had done. I was bored and tired, so I came back home. I could hear my heart pound like the flapping of birds' wings. I knew that I had gotten into serious trouble. "Why didn't you tell us you wanted to leave the store?" Tia finally spoke. She sounded angry. "Is that your daughter, ma'am?" One of the officers spoke up. He had been listening to the unfolding revelation. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know she was here," Mom explained to the officer. She proceeded out of the room to speak with them for a while before thanking our neighbors and retreating into our home. My mind has always been a very busy place, like a unique world of its own. Thoughts always poured forth like an endless cascade in the shadows of my mind. It was not an unusual event for me to occasionally wander off, physically or mentally. I had begun to get used to it. What I could, however, not get used to was the recent news that we had just received. We were leaving Quebec. The days strolled faster than I had expected, and the transition was quick. The journey to the west was another adventure that became etched on the walls of my heart. I will never forget the train ride, even though I slept through most parts of the journey. Houses and trees felt like a blur of colors as we sped along the tracks. Mom and Tia were seated beside me, and we had our luggage stacked somewhere aboard the train. Dad had heard talks of more work further west and decided that it would be best if we moved. We would be quite a distance from extended family. Like fragments of memories, it all felt like a blur. But this was a point where life began to sing a different song to me. And I would be a liar if I said that it was always a harmonious tune. Chapter 1, Through Her Eyes. Our new town exuded a unique aura. There was a prevalent mix of older bungalow houses along tree-lined streets. Local stores were gathering spots for curious neighbors amid echoes of children laughing and the scent of freshly cut grass wafting through the air. A heavy sense of community hung in the atmosphere around our new abode. One thing that caught my attention was the deep diversity present in our new neighborhood. The streets echoed with the sound of various languages, and the air was thick with the aroma of diverse cuisines. Neighbors of African, Asian, South American, and Eastern European descent were all present in our new city. Although it was majority white, there was a rich, multicultural community that brimmed with life and culture. The dawn of the 80s came with a new wave of style. The entertainment industry was booming, and discoveries were being made every day. It was a good time to be alive. My eyes ignited with childlike wonder once they landed on our new apartment.